Across Africa, a silent race is underway, a race to save one of our most iconic species.
Rhino are iconic. There's only one species of white rhino remaining, and that's the southern white. So number one, and most importantly, is it's a national, global asset that once it's gone, it's gone. Going back 100 years, estimations are anywhere between 20 and 50 white rhino were left on the continent. Northern white rhino functionally extinct. We've got an opportunity and a conservation imperative that this doesn't happen to the southern white rhino.
Behind every relocation is an act of defiance against extinction, a statement that we refuse to give up. Because saving a species takes more than hope. It takes partnership, precision, and people who care enough to act.
That was a great first start to the morning. A really good workout in the morning, moving an animal that big, but got it down safely, got the animal taken care of, got a nice blindfold on it. The animal was comfortable, and we've been able to manage her very well. And also the fact that she got 2 microchips, 1 in each horn. And what that does is if the tragic situation ever happens where she loses one of the horns, it gets poached, we can actually track that horn as well. But once she gets that done, we use some putty to actually clear the hole and put it in and seal it. And then she'll get a reversal and up, and she'll go off into the crate.
We're done. I think we've got 2, 3 to go. Amazing, eh? Like 5 hours and we've done 36 or 34 rhinos. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
We aim to rewild these rhino into well-protected, well-managed sort of conservation areas across the continent, locally, regionally, and sort of continentally. We've got one aim, and that is to sort of de-risk the rhino species. And we can't do it alone. You know, I think initially the perception was it's for AfricanParks, by AfricanParks, and that's not the case. You know, we stepped into the space. We need partners in the conservation sector, Global Humane, Wildlife Emergency Fund, and the whole long list of other partners that sort of support us in realizing the vision of rewilding these animals. In doing such, we de-risk the species and we contribute significantly to conservation across the continent and within our country at large.
Obviously, AfricanParks has taken this mammoth project on, and we believe that they shouldn't be doing it on their own, and that's why we partner with Global Humane Conservation Fund of Africa in providing a solution to these projects on an ongoing basis. What we are seeing is that it's about long-term partnerships, and it's not just about one-off projects anymore, because it's, you know, the more momentum we can build as partners, and the more work we can actually get done.
What does the future hold for white rhinos? And I think one can take a step back and say, what does the future hold for rhinos in general, and then bring it down into white rhino. I think one unintended consequence of a project like this that we didn't see from the get-go was the positive story that a rewilding or Rhino Rewild had on rhino. We're not posting pictures of dead rhino, we're posting pictures of live rhino being moved. Bringing it back, again, 15% of the world's white rhino population here, which we are now moving into well-protected, well-managed areas across the continent, you know, and that's exactly what the solution is for white rhino. We need more models like this, we need more people that put up their hand and say, you know what, we want rhino, we want to look after rhino, because it's not just the rhino that benefits, it's absolutely everything else under that banner. So by rhino that we're moving opportunity into those reserves for that it's not me standing here in 5 years' time, but it's someone else that's realized the vision. And that's what the strength is in these rhinos, and that's how it links into communities and other people. We need to keep our heads down, we need to keep doing the conservation work we're doing, because that's the solution. It's a long-term game, this. So we really, really have to just keep working at it and keep focused on the task at hand.
When you see a successful load of the rhino that you've been working with, it always makes your heart feel like, okay, we can move on to the next one. So just making sure they're safe and they're healthy, and I love seeing it at the other end when we open the crate and we see them going to their new home.
The fight for the rhino survival is far from over. These rhinos are more than a success story, they're a promise. Together we can all ensure future generations will see rhinos roaming freely, living symbols of resilience and hope.